I want to do something a little bit different today, and that's to talk about basically the first time I ever heard about anything Games Workshop or Warhammer related. Now everyone's got their own story for this. Some of you will have come across it from the dawn of war games or Space Marine, or a lot of people have come through it through video games, maybe Total War. But when I came to it, in the mid 1990s. And I grew up at the time I was going to school in a little mining town, or a mining village really, in the northeast of England. And nobody was particularly well off. People worked in Asda, people had just been laid off by the pits. People were just trying to sort of make their way really. And I had a schoolmate whose mum worked at Asda. His name was Kevin, and he told me about, I must have been like 10 at the time, and he told me about, there's this game called Warhammer, and there's dwarves in it. And these dwarves just kind of, I don't know, they just captured my imagination a little bit, I suppose. Even though he didn't tell me much about them, other than they were short and they had big orange beards and axes, and they lived in big mines and things like that. You know, I just kind of had to fill in the blanks. And they fought orcs, and there was you could play big battlefield games on the tabletop, and I was just instantly like hooked by the idea. I think, to be honest, it was just like I just kind of thought, wow, that just sounds like the most awesome thing. And so these are basically the first ever, and I've just opened this, I bought it on eBay, the first ever Warhammer models I ever heard of. And it's weird because the shape of the axe and everything, it's kind of how I imagined them, like when I first heard about them. And this box must be like, how many years old now? Like 30 years old or something? Absolutely nuts. Got the stats on the back. Dwarfs, should it not be dwarves? Are grim-faced warriors who never forgive, never forget, and never surrender. They are renowned for their fierce courage on the battlefield and making armies that are as solid as the rock from their mountain strongholds. Movement 3, I remember playing with them on not these ones, but like my friend had some, and like they just took ages to get across the battlefield. I think you could double their movement to 6 inches, which even then it took ages to get across. Weapon skill 3, good at hitting stuff. Ballistic skill 3, not as good at shooting stuff. Strength 3, okay. Toughness 4, they're very tough. Wounds 1, initiative 2. Initiative was used like to see if they could dive out of things, I think, like vehicles that were coming at them. Maybe that was an old 40k rule actually. Attacks 1, leadership 9, save 5 up. So let's open this. And I'm not sure if I bought these built or not. So let's have a look. These are the first models that I ever heard of, and some of the first ones that I ever saw. And I just love the detail on the shields. It's really cool. So here we are. What we got here? So obviously not the original wrapping paper. So yeah, honestly, I sometimes think about the first time I heard of Warhammer and things, and it was Kevin, and it was him telling me about some dwarves that his dad had. And they wouldn't have been cheap. And like there wasn't a huge amount of money around at the time. Like, so, wow. Let's have a look at these. So there are lots of... Oh, they got no shields? Okay. I think they might not have come with shields. That's a shame. Maybe I can print some. Honestly, they are so small. But I think that was part of the allure of them. Do you know what I mean? They're just such little diddy little things. Like, here's a Terminator. And Terminators, by modern standards, with Primaris and things, Terminators are quite small. Let's see if I can get here's a Redemptor Dread. You can actually stand on there like, hello. but just like a fat little grot, I suppose. Oh, my gun fell off. That's good. So yeah, I just wanted to sort of, I don't know, share the first time I ever heard of anything Warhammer related, because it's just like there's a certain sensation of finding things or hearing about things for the first time that you kind of never get back. And yeah, I suppose I was just nostalgic for that a little bit, and that's why I bought these. If you've got any interesting stories about how you first ever heard about anything Warhammer, then leave it in the comments, because there's only one first time, isn't there? Cool. So this has been a kind of unusual video. I've been John at Peacetime Painting, and take care of yourselves.